What is up, full-time family? It's time for Full-Time MMA Live. I'm technically 2 minutes late, but it's because I just got great news. Let's fucking go. But we're not going to break the news until we get some of the full-time family in here so we can all react together because it's a great moment. It's a milestone for the channel, and I was having a fucking terrible day before this. This is dope. So with that being said, without further ado, I'm going to play a song or probably one to get some people some time to roll in here. And I had somebody tell me, hey man, I unsubbed when you started rapping. Motherfucker, clearly you didn't. Clearly you're unsubbed, but you're still listening every day and hear me out. Because I started doing the full-time MMA raps back when we were MMA Fast Topics too. So if you unsubbed way back then, dog, you still been around for 10 months, so you can really eat a dick. That's how I'm feeling. You know, I was having a bad day, so it is what it is. But we just got some good news. Can't wait to bring it to the family. I'll give you a hint. Alpha Brain. Yo, but let's play a song before we get going. Let's play the motherfucking song, if I can pull it up. Full-time MMA battle rap. Let's just see if we can pull it up on straight off Google. We fucking did it. Alright. But not this one. This is not the one we're going to play. This is not the one we're going to play. Let's go to playlist. Alright, family, which one we gonna play? Anybody got any suggestions what we should play first? Creator Studio. We got the family in the motherfucking building. I see the chat going. I had to take the live sub counter and sub goal off just for today because the site I was using got like shut down, so I gotta find a new live sub goal. We'll get that back up tomorrow, but I just realized that like 5 minutes before we went live. I've been fucking so man, I've been busy, I've been working, I've been grinding, I've been dealing with shit, I've been trying to get this shit still rocking, videos, live streams, but I also got, I've been fucking overwhelmed over these last few days, but it ain't shit, you know what I'm saying? We keep grinding, that's what we do around here. But with that being said, hold on, we gotta play a song before we get started. We need a good one too. Motherfucking a celebratory song. It's a good moment, full-time family. We just got some good news. With that being said, whoever watches that video, motherfucking make sure you hit thumbs up. We're lacking. You can see 1 to 0, 22 views. Not the best ratio, but we'll give you guys, you know, some slack because it just got posted. No, but where's the damn raps, man? I just went from like a bad mood to a good mood within 5 minutes because of the news we just got. So that's awesome. And I wasn't in a bad mood. I was just tired, you know, cranky, fucking you know how that goes when you just get off of work and you still got work to do and shit. So. But we got some good news, full-time family. After I find these mother trucking freestyles, which one we gonna play? Let's see what we got. Let's see if we got any. The Brunson Adesanya Twitter feud is hilarious. Yeah, Brunson. I seen Adesanya actually fired back today. I haven't got to cover it yet. We might cover that during the show. But what did Brunson say, or what did Adesanya say? He said something about Chuck Norris. His Chuck Norris style, like that broke-ass Chuck Norris style or something ain't going to work over here. Something hilarious, bro. All right. Let's see what we got just to piss off somebody that said they don't like the raps. I unsubbed when you started doing the raps. How the fuck are you still here? Because we started that like 10 months ago, you fucking dick. Let's play Fire Snoop. That's what I feel like. Fire Snoop. And I realized what my guy Stamina MC was saying yesterday. Whenever I have my headphones plugged in, it was lagging a little, not lagging, but whenever I was rapping the song, it was coming out before the actual words. So I'm not going to do that today, but I'm still going to get my headphones, but I'm just going to let it play. I'm not going to fucking give you a live performance like fucking B-Rabbit. Alright, family. I got my headphones. We're in the game. But first, we shall play hashtag Fire Snoop. Man, I should change the title of this video to We Got Some Great News, full-time family. Some of you might be wondering what it is if you didn't catch the hint. Let's go.
Yeah.
If you didn't catch the hint, let's
you know
go.
You
oh, shit.
Up, right? Full-time in the house. Let's get it. With so much drama in this day and age, it's kind of hard being full-time MMA, but I Somehow, some way, keep coming up with content for my hitters like every single day. Now let's get to this nigga Snoop. Disrespecting McGregor, thinking that shit was cute. Calling Conor a bitch, well what the fuck does that make you? You ain't no big dog, old nigga, you a pooch. And keep it real, Conor didn't even fucking lose. Fuck the Mayweathers, made $1 million off them dudes. And that's in a pillow fight, boxing ain't no real fight. How he get knocked out, still walk out looking like $1 million likes. Snoop, I think you sipping too much gin and juice, cause something's gotten into you. What the fuck you thinking dissing one of the dudes getting you paid? Now a lot of people don't like you, got them on Twitter yelling hashtag Fire Snoop.
Bitch!
Full time in the house. Hey.
I'm just motherfucking saying. I'm just saying. I don't give a fuck if you like the raps, motherfuckers. Get past it when you watch the replay. I'm just saying. Let me talk my shit. We just got approved for the Honor Affiliate Program. Much needed. Holy smokes, I don't even know what all it entails, but that's the great news. I think, like, anybody that signs up for a motherfucking free sample of Alpha Brain, we get kicked back $10. So we got 7,000 subs. If we just get 70 motherfuckers to get a free Alpha Brain, bada boom, bada bang, that's the whole motherfucking leash. You see what I'm saying? And we ain't selling shit. It's all motherfucking just getting your brain alpha'd up. You know, we ain't got time for no baby back, bagel biting, beta brain motherfuckers. You gotta have the alpha brain when you're fucking with full time. You can't have no beta brain. So that's why we're gonna be pushing that motherfucking alpha brain and whatever we got, whatever they got, the kettlebells, motherfucker. You hit something. You know what I'm saying? We on that honest shit. No, it ain't crazy or nothing. You know, I just reached out for the program and got the reply back, and it looks like we might be serving some free alpha brain samples and some shit like that. If you know what I'm saying. So if you ain't a beta brain, fuck with your boy. That's all I'm saying. Whenever you see the free samples coming up later this week or whenever it happens. So that's the dope news, family. That's why I was excited when I started, man, because I just got that email before we went live, and I was like, whew, that's gonna help, bro. A free sample. I mean, if you don't want to sign up for a free sample, you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck don't like free samples? So I remember when we was younger, we used to go to motherfucking Sam's Club on Saturdays, literally just for the free sample. You know what I'm talking about? That's motherfucking lunch and all that shit. I need some of that, I need some of that, and then you motherfucking hit the corner. I don't think I tried that. Bada boom. And then I need some of that one because, you know, they got at Sam's Club, you know what I'm saying? They got all the samples on, like, Sundays, bro. So who don't love free samples? That's all I'm saying. So if you ain't a beta brain and if you don't love free samples, that's all I'm saying. Fuck with your boy. Now, with that being said, man, I've still only had, like, 8 hours of sleep in the last 2 days, which is all good because I'm not tired right now. But if I just fucking pass out and hit my head on this shit, y'all know why. I'm probably not going to do that because we're going to be talking about MMA. And we got Conor McGregor news, Khabib news, and it's just going to get crazier from here because the fight's not announced. But as soon as that happens, holy shit. Are y'all ready for the biggest motherfucking fight in MMA history? I know I am. I can't say it. Let's see what we got. Let's fuck with the full-time family. Why is my chat so little, man? I need to see more of this shit. What's going on, full-time family? Yes, Stipe deserves a rematch. Hold on 1 second, fam. I don't know what's going on with my chat right now, but it's not rocking with me right. Maybe I gotta zoom out. Why is this shit so small? I only see like one comment at a time. That ain't dope. That ain't cool. What's going on, fam? Oh, there we go. That's what I needed to see. All right, George Page in the building. Conor ass needs to be locked up. I mean, I don't know. Broke a damn window. It ain't like he actually smacked someone with the dolly and fucking injured him. You know, he just broke a window. But, I mean, I still kind of see what you're saying. He needs to be locked up in a sense of you want to see someone punished for their actions, right? If you want to see change. I mean, we had this conversation not too long ago about the weight cutting. You're not supposed to reward guys for missing weight. That's going to make them keep doing it. If you want somebody's actions to change, you need to see punishment. And so that's why maybe Conor get locked up just so he doesn't continue down this spiral, you know, a downward spiral of possibly committing a more serious crime. You know, so maybe just to get him back on the right track. But I don't think he should be locked up just for breaking a window. Now, yeah, did he break a law? But he's got the money to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? Everyone that breaks a window doesn't need to go to jail. So I see what you're saying, and it was a little more serious because Rose Namajunas was shaken up, and, you know, Michael Chiesa and Ray Board, they were scratched and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yo, big full-time, check your DMs. Uh-oh. Talking about on Twitter? Okay, I don't know if I can check them on stream. I could probably check them on the other tab. MMA. I'm just excited. We got the motherfucking Alpha Brain on deck. You beta... Where's all the beta motherfucking bagel biters now, though? That's all I'm saying. I'm excited about that email, bro, and I don't even know what the fuck it means, homie. 13th of October, 1992 says, got my money on Khabib. Oh, smokes. I don't know if I'm putting money out. Well, of course I'm not going to be if I'm not in fucking Las Vegas or something crazy. But either way, I don't know who I would put my money on. I wonder who's going to be the underdog. I don't even know who's going to be the favorite. I would assume Khabib's probably going to be a little bit of a favorite. He's been more active in the UFC, even though he hasn't been very active. But he's been more active in the UFC. He's the grappler, which you might think is one of Conor's worst matchups. I'll say that, but that doesn't mean Conor can't beat him. So it's going to be an amazing fight by the time it gets here. My dude just got out of work. I will email, get your address, and send you a pic of the monitor. Much appreciated, good sir. All right. That's dope, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be checking for that email. Hell yeah, congrats, bro. What's up, brother forward? Israel A. Gedong in the building. MMA Addict. Let's mother truck and go. Weezing 336. Don't think a 5-minute rap is a reason to unsubscribe if you're here for some of the best MMA coverage on YouTube. Yeah, and they only be like motherfucking 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even be doing no 3 verses and a chorus and a hook and a boom. Yeah, motherfucker, just a quick little. Now motherfuckers don't like you. Got him on Twitter yelling hashtag Fire Snoop. And if you're listening on the motherfucking rewind, you can literally skip past it. I had somebody tell me today, it's a really long intro you got there. But yeah, and I said, after you're here for a while, you'll probably start skipping that thing. Come on, man. Who you think you're fucking dealing with? Full-time fucking flip-flopper? What the hell? Let's go, man. Let's talk about this UFC. Conor McGregor was sentenced. Got the little plea deal. He actually looked like he only got charged with like 1 little misdemeanor. He was looking at 10 and 2 felonies. That's what money gets you. That good-ass lawyers, you know what I'm saying? You get off everything. A little bit of community service, a little bit of whatever else he had to do, but no jail time. No felonies. And that's all we really needed. Now we get the whole gangs of New York. Conor McGregor versus Khabib. Motherfucking Nurmagomedov and his whole crew. I mean, this ain't even, man, I've said this before. This is not just Conor versus Khabib. This is literally like Russia versus Ireland and some more shit. This is so much deeper than rap here. But yeah, man, Conor McGregor got the good news today. That's dope to see. He released a statement. I mean, I just did a video on this, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, a little wore out. So if you want to see what's going on, if you don't already know, that's long story short. Conor McGregor is cleared to fight by the end of the year. He's not facing any jail time, no felonies. He's good. So now, when is the fight going to happen? Not 100% sure. But his team afterwards has released statements. Let me see if I have those pulled up, because it was like an interview. There we go. There we go. Here's the statements from his team, him himself. Statement from Conor McGregor after his guilty plea. Let's play that. Real rap, no mumble. My guy George says real rap, no mumble shit. I might have to fuck around and make a mumble MMA rap. This is the big drama show. It says forward. He says, I think it'll be MSG in November. Extra time for a world tour and big media coverage. I got one worse for you. I think it might fuck around and be at the end of the year card in Vegas. I'm talking about not October, not November in Madison Square Garden. I'm talking December. And I know we don't want to wait till December, but to be fair, it would give them time to maximize to sell the fight, still be this year. And also, I think there might be a little bit of a problem with Conor McGregor trying to fight in the Barclays, you know, where he just got kicked out of and shit. I don't know if the Barclays is going to welcome Conor McGregor back after that. I know they want the money, but I don't know, you know, so that there might be a hurdle there. We don't know exactly when the fight's going to take place. I can't wait for the official announcement. But worst case scenario, I think it happens in December. So it's either October, November, or December. You know, is it going to happen sooner? Is it going to happen later? That's something we still need to see. But my guy said, yeah, they could put it on the same card as Nunes Cyborg, said George Page. That's a very real possibility. Champ versus champ super fight on the same card as McGregor Khabib. I'm all the way in for that. And it'd be a huge opportunity for Cyborg and Nunes, whatever that means, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, my guy forward said check my DMs. Maybe there's some news breaking. But other than that, Khabib has also responded. Check my DM real quick. Let's see. What's good? All right, yeah. So this is what I'll have. From what I'm looking at right now, that looks like a book. I can't really read that on stream, so I have to read that after the chat. My guy forward. So with that being said, this is what Khabib had to say upon hearing the news of Conor's settlement. Team Khabib just issued the following statement: "Glad that he stayed out of jail because I wouldn't be able to punish him in that case. Now he needs to bring his Irish team to MSG in November to finish our business. If you can't tell, Khabib clearly likes fighting in New York. I think there's a big Russian fan base there. That's what it seems like, because if you think about Khabib's last fights, Madison Square Garden, Brooklyn, now he's looking to be back to Madison Square Garden. So Khabib's clearly really comfortable in that New York market. So that's where he wants the fight to happen. That's that could happen at Madison Square Garden. But Dana White also said that if this fight happens, it'll be in Vegas. I mean, the magnitude of this fight might have to be in Vegas. But to be fair, Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez was a big fight, but that was the MSG debut, so maybe they don't want that again. But yeah, so I think this fight happens in Vegas, but like I said, it could be one of 3 cards: 229, 230, or 232. November, October, or December. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, also aside from that, challenging the MSG, he also said, send me location in this Instagram post. So that's really, I mean, we're not going to go, we'll talk about the fight for a second, I suppose. How do you guys think the fight's going to go? In my mind, I mean, there's multiple potentials. Let's see, I'm looking at paths to victory. Who's got more paths to victory here? I think Conor McGregor has more paths to victory, even though I would give the edge to Khabib off the top of my head, because Khabib is probably the best grappler in the lightweight division as far as wrestling and just his, relentless style of how he's been fucking at all these guys up, just holding them against the fence, fucking just smash like chicken, and then on top of all the pent-up animosity he's got for Conor McGregor, like, I'm sure he's going to be looking to punish Conor McGregor in there, but I'm talking about paths to victory. How is Khabib going to win? Likely, you think he might win a decision, right? And, of course, he could get a TKO or a submission off of that wrestling, but he could win a grinding-out decision, right? Just beating Conor McGregor down for 5 rounds. Now, Conor McGregor's a guy that can knock you out. All right, I'm trying to give Conor McGregor an out here, but I think Khabib has the edge. I think Khabib's got the edge off the top of my head. I'm trying to give Conor McGregor. I was like, he can knock you out. He can win a decision, or he can win a submission. We just saw Conor McGregor in that dope ass gi. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was a black belt, but it was a black gi, whatever the fuck that means. So Conor McGregor's working on that jiu-jitsu, training with Dylan Dennis. You know what I'm saying? But his cardio has been somewhat suspect, although he's got the McGregor Fast program, so maybe his cardio is up there. He fought Floyd Mayweather in boxing. I would say boxing is a little more cardio intensive than MMA, depending on how the fight's going for sure, but more rounds, longer time. So I think Conor McGregor's cardio is going to surprise people when he comes back. I don't think that's going to be a big issue. But on top of that, we know for sure he can knock Khabib out. Now, submission is possible. But I don't know if I'm going to give Conor that path to victory, because it's not like he's just out here fucking Johnny Jiu-Jitsu submitting guys every other fight. So with that being said, Khabib can. He can submit you. He can TKO you. He can win a decision. He does have that cardio. So Khabib's got more paths to victory if we're talking paths to victory. I thought that's how I was going to be able to give it to Conor. Like, oh, he can win all 3 ways. But it's kind of, yeah. So maybe the fight goes to Khabib, bro. Bro, they start on the feet. His chance is very good. That's the thing. They start on the feet. So you got to be careful leaving that chin up. You can definitely get sniped. But I would say I think Khabib has more paths to victory. So I would think Khabib will be a slight favorite. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I don't think you should underrate Conor McGregor. I don't think you should count Conor McGregor out. And honestly, I'm trying to force myself to pick Conor because I've picked against him before, right? I picked against him when he fought Chad Mendez, I believe. Eddie Alvarez, those matchups where I was like, okay, now we're going to see one of these motherfuckers is going to try and put Conor on his back. Let's see what happens. He was able to get up from Chad Mendez and get the finish. Eddie Alvarez, the moment was too big for him. His game plan went out the window, I believe he said. Couldn't hear his coaches. The crowd was too loud. So he didn't really get to use his thorough game plan. So we haven't really got to see someone execute that grappling-heavy game plan against Conor McGregor. That's why I was picking against him. But now that we've seen him have that success against Chad Mendez, and he knocked out Eddie Alvarez, and I picked against him twice, and he fucking shut me up both times, how do you count him out again? How do you count Conor McGregor out, after that? So it's hard for me to count Conor out, but fucking Khabib is just too good, man. It's going to be that's why this fight is so good. This fight is going to be a wild night in Ireland. I can't wait for it, said Vasa Rampage. That's what I'm saying, dog. Delete, delete, delete. McTap out followed by nap out, said Israel. Hey, get down. Cormier versus OSP. I'm not into it. I'd way rather see this fight came up in one we're going to talk about. Not Cormier versus Anderson. Daniel Cormier versus Ilir Latifi. Ilir Latifi actually just submitted OSP, I believe, in their last fight. I think it was it that standing guillotine, if I'm not mistaken, put him all the way out. But Ilir Latifi looked like a monster, and he actually called out Daniel Cormier after that fight. And he said, if you're not coming back to light heavyweight, I'll fight you at heavyweight. So Ilir Latifi actually, you know, it's more of a what have you done for me lately type deal, so we weren't really thinking about Ilir Latifi. But I'm telling you right now, Ilir Latifi's a monster, and he called out DC. So with that being said, I low-key think that would be Daniel Cormier's toughest challenge in the light heavyweight division, Ilir Latifi. He's beat Gustafsson. He hasn't fought OSP yet, but OSP, kind of like Corey Anderson, man, he's not just like, I don't know. Corey Anderson's coming off of 2 wins, maybe, I believe, but before that it was a loss type deal. But also OSP, I don't know if people are super amped to see him fight for the title. We did see how he looked versus John Jones, and it wasn't amazing. So I think the only reason people would really want to see OSP versus Cormier is like, what, is OSP gonna like get lucky and knock him out? Maybe a Von Flue choke, you know? So I don't know. I actually would rather see the Latifi fight, but I'm interested to see what other people think. But that is a good call, though, George Page. Infamous says Khabib couldn't even finish Al Iaquinta on late notice. You talking about the number 10th ranked lightweight Al Iaquinta, but he was trying to, you know, get himself ready. It's all good, man. It was a short notice fight for Khabib too, in a sense. You know, both of them actually had a fight, right? Iaquinta was on the card. They both had a camp, but they had to switch their opponents up. Iaquinta was supposed to be fighting Paul Felder, I believe. Khabib was supposed to be fighting fucking Ferguson, then Max, and it's like, all right, I'm going to sleep. Wake me up when you got me an opponent, you know. But I mean, just because he didn't finish Al Iaquinta doesn't mean, you know, Al Iaquinta showed some heart in that fight also, and he was also showcasing his striking. You know, Khabib was popping Al Iaquinta with the striking. It ain't like he was just trying to take him down and submit him in the first round, you know. So to be fair, he didn't finish Iaquinta, but he didn't necessarily need to. Also, maybe I heard this as well. Think about this. Now, maybe this is just conspiracy or whatever. Maybe Khabib wouldn't do this, but some people feel like he might have been baiting Conor McGregor. Hey, look, I'll throw some hands. Sign the motherfucking contract when you get back. Maybe it'll pump Conor McGregor up to want to fight Khabib when he gets back, thinking, oh, Khabib might try and outstrike me. But now that the fight's likely going to be happening, you know, I'm just saying that is one possibility. Maybe it was a ploy by Khabib to get the Conor fight. Man, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, I'm not going to count that all the way against him, just not finishing Iaquinta. When was the last time Iaquinta was finished, to be fair? Webb's PK Vid said, yo, full time in the building. What up? Yoza L said, Conor can come in with good cardio. Yeah, you know, so I'll give Conor the path to victory, a decision or a knockout, but Khabib's probably even more likely to get the submission on top of being able to win both fights. Last time we saw Khabib fight a southpaw, he got rocked by Michael Johnson. That's true, too. And like I said, you can't just get rocked by Conor McGregor, man. You get rocked by Conor McGregor, it's likely you're not coming back from it. That's all I'm saying. Death touch. Seismic Shock said Conor must land early. Khabib must get it to the ground early. And it starts on the feet. So if Conor can... That's why this fight is fucking crazy. Trying to sleep Nate and didn't do it, blew his wad. Yeah, so... You know, but I think Conor's cardio since the Nate fight has to have improved. But he was inefficient with his energy in that fight. I think, especially if it's going to be a 5-round fight, Conor's going to be a lot more efficient. And so, yeah, man. But I would probably, gun to my head right now, Conor or Khabib. Khabib! You know what I'm saying? Don't shoot, Khabib! But that doesn't take away from Conor's chance. I'm not counting him out. Lefty versus lefty, bruh, says Jose L. Diaz was a different fight. Nate has a chin, though. Hey, see, see, all of these reasons coming up in the group chat right now, the Full-Time Family group chat, are why this fight is going to be one of the biggest fights in history, because no one knows what's going to happen, and on top of it, everything else, this shit's deeper than rap. The fight, the matchup is great. There's drama going into it. It's bigger than even just normal trash talk drama. I'm talking about Gangs in New York type shit. I don't know why this reminds me of Gangs in New York. Maybe because both Conor McGregor and Khabib, low-key, like, they're UFC fighters, but I don't know why, like, on the outside, they seem like they got fucking mob ties low-key, if you know what I'm saying. Like, Khabib's whole squad, they be looking like straight motherfucking killers. Stone cold, straight face. I wish you would fuck with Khabib. Conor McGregor's got the little ties to whatever's going on over there. So then there's been stuff that happened with their teams outside, like at fucking local pubs, motherfuckers getting beat. I mean, there's just a lot of shit going on. And then did y'all listen to Ariel Helwani's MMA show with Ali Abdelaziz this week? And he was talking about, fucking, I forget Khabib's homie's name. I don't want to get it wrong. But he said Khabib's homie slapped Artem. Khabib slapped on him. He didn't do shit. Like, he was talking crap. Like, they both slapped Artem and he didn't do nothing about it. Like, of course they're mad. He bitched out like, like, homie was building this fight up on. And on top of that, he was talking about how Dana White is Conor's boss and, Conor's the #1 prostitute for the UFC and that type of stuff. And now, in my mind, he's just talking shit there. Because how can you talk about Conor McGregor having a boss when if anybody is the biggest boss as far as fighters are concerned in the UFC is Conor McGregor? If you're calling Dana White Conor's boss, every other fighter you represent, Dana White is their boss as well, including Khabib. How can you say that, Conor's getting pimped out by the UFC, Dana's his boss, Dana tells him what happens? So are all of these UFC fighters, including your roster, including Khabib. If Conor's getting pimped out, all these mother truckers are. What are you saying? Just because he went to fight Floyd Mayweather for $100 million or he got the cash? Don't be jealous here. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about other fighters. Just because Conor, I'm not going to fucking, I'm not going to keep this on the pimping storyline. I was going to say, if it is like that, if you're saying Dana White's pimping these fighters, don't get jealous Conor's the bottom bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he's a bitch, but I'm just using it in terms of like the whole pimping reference. How can you say Dana White's this big pimp and he's only pimping Conor when he's got this whole roster? So that was a little interesting, but still, what he had to say about, it was like, oh, snaps, because that's really the reason Conor McGregor flew down, because of what happened to Artem in that hallway. And to be fair, Artem was outnumbered. And he was like, Artem got slapped and didn't do shit. It's like, he's like, I don't care who it is. If I get slapped, I'm fighting back. And it's like, okay, maybe, but think about it from Artem's perspective. For one, I mean, worst case scenario, he's probably not going to fucking get killed there if he fights back. He might get jumped or something. But for one, he's by himself. For two, he's got to fight tomorrow. If he gets fucking in a brawl with all 10 of you motherfuckers, he probably loses that paycheck in his fight. For two, he's probably thinking, I know you guys wouldn't even be thinking to jump half this silly if my guys were here. So that's why he played it cool. Maybe he did get slapped on the neck. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Khabib did rough him, not rough him up, but give him a little pop. Maybe he did one time. And maybe Artem did show some restraint. But that's because we've got a merciful Artem. I don't think these guys realize, for one, the potential of Artem. You gotta think about this as well. This is Artemis Lobavius we're talking about here. He really spared all 10 of them motherfuckers. If anybody can pull off some of that Chuck Norris shit, it's going to be Artem Lobov. So be careful when you're talking about Artem like that. That's all I'm saying. That is the GOAT. You seen what Conor was ready to do, motherfucking, when he called gang. Boom, in through the back door. Dolly, psh, glass, eye, head, rose. So that all happened because you were fucking with Artem. And now here you are again on Ariel Helwani's show talking that. That's why Artem got slapped type of stuff. Like, okay, you're going to make Conor want to snipe that chin even more. Keep it up. Keep it up. I'm ready for the fight. All right, man, let's cover this news. We talked about Conor and Khabib for a little, and that's really, I did want to do that. But this, like I said, this show's probably not going to be 2 hours. It might be fucking 20 more minutes for all I know, man. I got, you know what I'm saying? After I go to sleep, hopefully for a solid, like, fucking 6 hours or something tonight, wake up, we're going to be refreshed tomorrow. We're going to be grinding tomorrow, and I'm probably going to be a whole new level of excited for this. But I'm just, been kind of wore out, so that's why today's show might be a little shorter. I do apologize if, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is, if you're looking forward to a longer show. But let's continue. Joe Rogan says Stipe Miocic deserves a rematch against Daniel Cormier. And I agree with motherfucking everything Joe Rogan says. It's on it over here. No, I'm just fucking around. No, but this is a good, this would be a good time for a hangout, hopefully, when we get that new monitor, because that's a good question. What do you guys think about this? Do you think Stipe deserves a rematch? I see both sides of it. But when you're looking at who else would get the title fight, maybe he does. I mean, if you're telling me Stipe over Brock Lesnar, give me Stipe all day if we're talking about as a sport. The only reason we're really all cool about this Brock Lesnar thing is because we're looking at, okay, Daniel Cormier deserves it. Daniel Cormier deserves it. Nothing else makes sense. How is he going to get past USADA? No clue. How is he getting a title fight after fell in a drug test and beating like the number 8th ranked guy? No clue. But Daniel Cormier deserves it, so we're cool. Now, so that's all good and all. Daniel Cormier does deserve a payday, but if not for Daniel Cormier deserving a payday, then we might have something to say about this. Then who, if not Brock Lesnar, who does get that title shot? Stipe Miocic rematch? Now, we've heard Dana White say you got knocked out in the first round, you don't deserve anything when talking to Luke Rockhold, but this is a little different situation. Stipe Miocic just so happened to break the record for the heavyweight champ. And, you know, he was not only the champion, but he just set the title defense record, defended the heavyweight belt more than anybody in UFC history 3 times. That's the heaviest division. That was a feat there. He definitely has his name in the record books, so maybe he does deserve it off of that. Oh, on top of that, how about the eye pokes? That's another reason you could say Stipe Miocic deserves a rematch. I mean, Daniel Cormier got like 3 warnings before getting another poke off, and still no points were taken. And now, to be fair, the points wouldn't have mattered if it ended in a knockout. But if he didn't get poked in the eye, maybe he doesn't get knocked out. So Stipe Miocic, it's another mark for him deserving a rematch. Now, who are the other contenders? You got Derek Lewis up there. He himself said he doesn't deserve a title shot if it goes to decision. And after that lackadaisical performance against Francis Ngannou. So maybe Derek Lewis doesn't get the title shot off of that, so you still go with Stipe. The only other names are Volkov and Blades. They're still up-and-comers, but I think we would be down for a Miocic rematch if it came down to it. That's what I'm saying. So I think there is something to Stipe Miocic deserving a rematch, for sure. He was the baddest man on the planet. I fuck with Stipe heavy, so and especially over Brock Lesnar, I do agree. But what do you guys think? Do you guys see a reason for him not? I mean, to be fair, he wasn't right. Do you guys think that the UFC wanted? This is a good question. Do you think that the UFC wanted Stipe as the heavyweight champion? You know, he wasn't a guy known for talking trash, and you know, he didn't sell the most pay-per-views in the world necessarily. So, do you think they would rather have someone in there that will talk trash, will try and build the fights and stuff like that, or do you think that, or actually, do you think that plays a part in why he's not getting the rematch? Like, if they wanted, like, we see Cody Garbrandt, right? He's getting a rematch. He's a guy that, he's got a lot of potential to sell pay-per-views on top of everything else. Cody Garbrandt, he's getting a rematch. Now, he was knocked out in the second round and not the first, but we have seen champions get rematches that some people might have felt were unmerited. Now, in that situation, Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw, even the champ TJ was like, nah, you got to work your way back. And, you know, whatever happened, negotiations, it's like, okay, we can get the rematch off. And maybe the UFC had a part in that because TJ Dillashaw did change tunes. Originally, he was saying, no, thank you. I'll go fight someone else, like DJ. That would have been a super fight. TJ Dillashaw wanted that, but it seemed like maybe Demetrius held that up. So these are all different situations. That's why I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about Stipe. Forward says Stipe versus Lesnar would have been very intriguing. Yeah, that would have been a fun fight. And that would have happened. I believe DC or Dana White said, like, if Stipe won there, whoever won that fight got to fight Brock Lesnar. You know, so he lost a big payday there too. George Page, I saw he just said something, but I lost it because for some reason my chat's so small. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm only seeing like 3 comments at a time, but it's all good. John Taylor said that's the only thing, that shit should be DQ material. DC thinks he's Mo. Nice KO though. Yeah, those eye pokes were a little interesting. Stamina MC says, I'm not down with rematches. The eye pokes are the strongest argument in this case. All that what they did spiel is for the fighters to consider on the way in, not fans or the company after. Weezing336 says, DC wants the Lesnar fight. I don't think DC will risk a big fight with Lesnar by taking a Stipe rematch. Yeah, no. DC for sure. At heavyweight, his next fight's Lesnar. But if Lesnar was off the table, maybe Stipe gets the rematch. But with Lesnar being there, and it's not even just DC that wants a payday. Don't get it motherfucking twisted. You know, the UFC, you don't think the UFC wants a payday too with Brock Lesnar? If DC just wanted a payday, that's not enough for the UFC. Okay, like, they're not going to sign fucking Randy Orton just so DC can get a payday. You know, and Brock Lesnar, for one, he's got the legit heavyweight experience. But on top of that, it's a big payday for the UFC. You know, it's not just DC running the show out here. Hey, UFC, I'm not rematching Stipe. Give me Brock. The UFC clearly wants that big payday too, and you could imagine why. You know, they got that fucking big $4 billion loan or whatever to pay back, so they're trying to put on the biggest fights possible as well. So they're a little bit, you know, if Stipe's not getting a rematch, it's not just DC. It's also, you know, a little bit on the UFC as well. So, you know, because if they didn't want Brock back, he definitely wouldn't be back. And, you know, because I'm still fucking looking around for the hippo in the room like, how the fuck is this guy about to beat USADA for 6 months? I'm surprised he ain't pissed hot yet, you know? If he's passed one drug test, something's going on. I believe they already took his first sample. I need to see the results. I'm wondering what's up with the first sample. Can he do one clean sample? We're talking about 6 months of clean samples. So I'm already ready to see the results of the first couple of tests. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if any day Brock Lesnar out of his fight with Daniel Cormier failed USADA test. Like that's almost a more realistic possibility than the fight actually happening. But yeah, so this is what Joe Rogan had to say. He said he should get a rematch. People are thinking the guy wins more UFC title defenses than anybody on the history of the sport, becomes the most accomplished heavyweight of all time. Think about what he's done. Think about the fact that he knocks out Fabricio Verdum to win the title. He knocks out Alistair Overeem to defend the title. He knocks out Junior Dos Santos. Beats Francis when everybody is terrified of Francis. He became the most accomplished heavyweight of all time. Then he gets knocked out by a crazy, perfect punch by Daniel Cormier in a perfect strategy. I wonder if he considers the eye pokes part of that strategy. No, that's something we'll never find out. No, I'm not even going to ask that question. I don't think it was intentional, right? Maybe you just, you know, picked up something from John Jones, but not intentional. I don't want to put that on DC, but hey, maybe it was. Who knows? You know, this is a fight. Who was I listening to? Someone was talking about how, hey, man, this is a fight. I would tell my fighter go in there when the ref's not looking. Might have been I was listening to Coach maybe. He was talking about maybe a fighter that had a fight coming up. Man, you got to get in there. This is the fight. When the ref's not looking, you know what I'm saying? You might have to get one in there. And if you're going up to fight the fucking next champion, maybe you do got to learn something from your biggest rival, John Jones. Not sure, but it is what it is. But yeah, there's a lot of people that agree with Joe Rogan as well that Stipe does deserve the rematch. But you know how that goes, man. It's big business, baby. What up to everybody watching the chat, by the way, watching the live stream. Make sure you hit thumbs up if you're here and you haven't yet. Appreciate it. John Taylor said, yeah, it was be serious little international poking. Yeah, that was some pretty clear. And this is when I would like to actually go back and watch in slow-mo. Literally actually, I'm not listening to no fucking music no more. Let's take these out. Literally right before the knockout. It looked like maybe a thumb or there might have been a poke right before the knockout. I don't know if it was Alpaca Thesaurus. There was some YouTube channel, some video I was watching, and they slowed it down. No, I shouted him out, but I don't remember the name. They had like 8,000 subs. It was a guy, like Brandon, no, not Brandon Davis. I shouted him out on the video, but he made a video talking about the eye pokes, and he paused it right before the knockout, and it was somewhat unclear as to if there could have been an eye poke literally right before the knockout. Not even the warnings, not even the ones you saw or nothing like that. I'm talking about one that didn't get caught because it came right before the knockout. So that there could have been a poke right before the knockout as well, on top of all the warnings. So that's definitely a case for a rematch. But yeah, we'll move up. Yeah, the worst one, thumb knuckle deep. Now, yeah, we saw that happen right with Santiago Ponzinibbio. I believe he's won a couple. Who did he knock out? Was it Alan Jouban? Was it Joe? No, Gunnar Nelson. It was Gunnar Nelson. He poked the fuck out of Nelson right before that knockout. So that can really fuck with you. Brendan Dorman, fucking G. Stamina MC's got the name Brendan Dorman. Yeah, it was close. So I said Brendan Davis. That's a UFC fighter. Brendan Dorman, that's who did the video. I think it's like Brendan Dorman MMA on YouTube. Yoza L said he wasn't going to laugh at Dana again and let another nigga put his belt on. Hey, Yoza L, I got a question, and this is just off topic. We're about to start talking. Are you Stewie? I'm just curious. I don't know. I don't, because my guy, Bada Bing Jr., mediocre a-hole, he thinks you're Stewie, but I don't, because you're never in here on some squeak bullshit, you know? So maybe you're just disguising it very well on this account, but I don't think you are, but someone does. Kane versus DC, said Gary Kendrick Jr. Yeah, that's not happening, but it would be fun. You know, they're too good of teammates, but yeah, that'd be cool. But here we go. Ila Latifi. Oh, see, yeah, Yoza L said, hell no. Yeah, I didn't think you were. Like, he ain't never been on no troll shit. I don't think that's Yoza. But yeah, he's always like Stewie, a.k.a. Yoza L, a.k.a. fucking full-time toilet cleaner. I'm like, I don't think it's Yoza, dog. Kenshiro Ryu said, DC, you've taken everything I worked for, motherfucker. Oh, yeah. I know John Jones probably wants to get that back. And, you know, the heavyweight belt, all type of stuff. Now we've saw Silva's innocent. We just had Conor's, you know, little hearing take place. He's good. Now we're just waiting on some John Jones update. Maybe he'll get some good news as well. But, all right, let's move on. I'm fucking throat's getting dry. I ain't got no drink and shit, but we only got a few more topics, like 4 or 5 more topics to touch on. Cover these real quick, touch on the chat, and get out of here for the day. Ilir Latifi bashes coward Daniel Cormier for accepting Corey Anderson fight, but Daniel Cormier says he'll fight him too. Yo, Daniel Cormier is low-key on his Darren Till shit right now. Like, hey, I'll fight all of you guys, but the UFC might not want me to. You know, because I don't think Daniel Cormier is scared of any of these light heavyweights. I think Daniel Cormier's got his mind on his money and the money on his mind right now. But at the same time, he ain't trying to look like no motherfucking coward, you know, at all. That's not because he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. There's no way he's scared of these guys. But he has alluded to the fact that he didn't want to fight Gustafsson in the past because they didn't do great business together. And so, if there's a reason that DC didn't want to fight Corey Anderson or Ilir Latifi, I think that'd be more of it. We're probably not going to do the best business, you know, but at the same time, he did say he was willing to fight Shogun. And then so whenever he was called out on social media by Corey Anderson, he's like, hey, you're right. Shogun is out. I'm not fighting Gus. Call the UFC, and if they send me the contract, I'll accept it. Like, just tell me when and where, and I'm there. DC said that to both these guys. Just tell me when and where. And how do you get that date? You're going to have to go through the UFC. Hey, UFC, DC just said he'll fight me. What's up? Well, you see, we got, like, plans for DC. I would assume, you know, they probably got other plans for DC, but maybe he does fight one of these guys. But he has agreed to fight both now. That can't happen. We know he's not going to fight Latifi and Corey Anderson. So, will he fight one of them? Possibly. He's talked about a light heavyweight title defense before fighting Brock Lesnar. I would like to see that. Especially if you're trying to keep the light heavyweight strap, right, going into the fight. We don't just want DC to hold the strap for 6 months while we wait on Brock Lesnar, because that's not even a light heavyweight fight. So if DC's not going to fight one of these guys, maybe he relinquishes the belt. But I think that's got to be one of the options. Either fight Corey Anderson, Ilir Latifi, or even OSP, as Gary Kendrick Jr. said, or give up the belt. But this was the original Corey Anderson call-out that Ilir Latifi was talking about, and the one that Daniel Cormier agreed to. He said, okay, sure, just find out when and where. I'll be there. I always am. Now we got Ilir Latifi saying, you don't answer me, but you answer Corey. I respected you for wanting money fights as your last fights, but not easier fights. A champ don't act like that. You don't want to fight me because you know it's going to be hard. Don't go out like a coward, champ. And Daniel Cormier responded to that. And he actually kept it up. He said, champ, you keep avoiding me. I'm the one you should defend the title against at 205. You don't want to fight Alex, but you can't hide from me. No excuses. Let's heal up and make it happen. Don't be dodging, champ. Give me the shot. All respect. Hey, yo, I fuck with Ilir Latifi. I'm telling you, too. I think he'd be a guy that... He's a potential future light heavyweight champion. The thing is, for one, we got DC and, you know, John Jones. They've been doing their thing, and now DC at heavyweight. But he's teammates with Gustafsson. That's the whole scenario that's kind of weird, because I believe Gustafsson, Latifi, and Manuel all are teammates, so they're not really interested in fighting each other. So it's like, well, if Gustafsson's the #1 contender, kind of puts Ilir Latifi in a fucked up spot. You know, it's like, unless he jumps to heavyweight. But he's like, well, hey, if you're not going to fight my teammate, maybe you'll fight me, so maybe he'll get a shot that way. And DC did accept to this fight as well. So now he's accepted a fight with not only Corey Anderson, but now Latifi. He said, I'm not avoiding you. You can get it too. All of y'all. Tell me when and where, bruh. I'll come and whip you. Just like you told Corey Anderson. Tell me when and where. Now, how are you... They can't just say, all right, DC, meet me at fucking UFC 230. Let's do it. You got to get the contract sent out. So these guys are going to have to tell the UFC, hey, DC said he'll fight me, and maybe the UFC will get that fight booked. But, of course, they'll have to heal up. So we'll see what happens. There's a very real possibility DC defends that light heavyweight belt. That would be dope, you know, if we got to wait until January to see Brock Lesnar. And honestly, like I said, elephant in the room. What if Brock Lesnar doesn't even make it through USADA? Then DC, he probably will defend that light heavyweight belt for sure. Then, I mean, that would actually kind of suck for DC, because if not Brock Lesnar, and depending on what happens with John Jones, he might not, I mean, aside from the Stipe champ versus champ fight, he might not get none of those money fights he was looking for. He might fuck around and retire fighting Latifi and Anderson. It depended on if John Jones don't come back in the next 8 months or so. And if Brock Lesnar don't pass USADA, so we'll see what happens. But we could see DC defending the title against one of these guys. I would give the nod to Ilir Latifi. His last performance was super impressive. And I think he's probably got a better chance than Corey Anderson. I mean, Corey Anderson, very talented wrestler, but DC's probably the better wrestler. So I feel like Ilir Latifi might even have a better shot. That's kind of why I want to see the fight more, too. Let's see. Vertical Axe came in here talking some shit. Got smack with the wrench. He's out of there. All right. Let's continue, though. Let's continue. Eddie Alvarez says it's Khabib Nurmagomedov or bust if he beats Dustin Poirier. Well, it might be bust. You know what I'm saying? Because we still got Tony Ferguson in the picture who's going to be coming back soon. We got to see what happens with him. I've heard there's a potential that maybe the winner, Tony Ferguson, gets the winner of this fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Tony Ferguson was the interim champion before he got stripped. He got tripped on a cord, kicked the pole. I mean, that was from the past, right? But tripped on the cord, Tony Ferguson fucked up his leg, got stripped. But he did win 11 fights in a row. He's still on that winning streak. Just because he got stripped don't mean he lost a fight. So even though Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier both could be fighting for the title already, they could still not be fighting for the title with a win over the other one. If Eddie Alvarez wins here, there's no guarantee. If Dustin Poirier wins here, no guarantee. So, but that's what Eddie Alvarez wants. And another thing, though, with Eddie Alvarez, this is the last fight on his contract. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I believe Eddie Alvarez will re-sign with the UFC. But, I mean, if you're on the last fight of your contract, you actually got something to be worried about. You got to go in here and get this win for that, because that could hurt your negotiations if you go in and lose this fight. Because if you're not getting what you asked for now, right? Like, let's say, I'm not going to throw a number out there, but we'll just use an easy number, $100,000. Let's say Eddie Alvarez wanted $100,000 per fight, and they're like, nah, we can't pay you that, Eddie. Well, if you go lose to Dustin, now you're coming back. You really ain't getting 100. You just lost. You really ain't getting it now. Now if you win, maybe you get what you're asking for. So he's kind of, gambling on himself, rolling the dice. If I win here, I might get what I'm asking for, and if I lose, maybe I don't. Maybe it's an even worse deal. So we'll see what happens there. But Eddie Alvarez is on the last fight of his contract, but I don't think he has any interest in returning to Bellator. To be fair, though, man, just permaban them goofballs. I didn't even see what he said, man. I ain't got time to read that shit today, bro. I'm fucking pooped. I'm tired, bro. No, but this is what he had to say. Let's see. There is no one. I just simply don't see no gain anywhere except for Khabib. That's it. I don't know if the UFC, I don't see them putting anyone else in front of me. It just doesn't make any sense. For where I'm at in my career, the people that I've went against, I fight back to back to back, hardest resume. You name another fighter or anybody in the lightweight division who has fought the toughest guys, you're hard-pressed to find that guy. I am that guy. Eddie Alvarez, he's got a good point, too. But this is the thing. What if Khabib loses? What if you lose? I mean, there's a lot of reasons that Alvarez versus Khabib could not happen, like that. This is wishful thinking for sure, because Khabib's going to be fighting McGregor likely. If McGregor wins that fight, Alvarez isn't even saying, like, I want the winner. He's kind of, I don't know if he's looking past McGregor or whatnot, but he's saying, I want to fight Khabib. Now, we saw this right with Tyron Woodley back whenever Tyron Woodley won the belt from Robbie Lawler. Way back when. You guys remember whenever Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, he was like, yo, I'm looking forward to the fight with Robbie Lawler. And then Robbie Lawler lost, and it was like, you know what I'm saying? Because Tyron Woodley came out, and he was like, no, what happened to wanting to fight Robbie? You, like, counted me out. And so that's an interesting situation. But, yeah, on top of Khabib having to win for him to fight Khabib, he's got to beat Poirier. That's going to be tough. This is a fight we already saw. Poirier was looking great in the first fight. And this fight's happening this weekend, actually, at UFC Calgary, the main event. So, definitely got my eye on that fight. Maybe title implications, but with the way the lightweight division is going, with Tony Ferguson still being ranked above these guys, it's definitely not any guarantee that these guys are going to be fighting for the title, even though they probably should be. Forward says, it's to make it easy, the family. If anyone on Twitter follows me forward thinking, I'll follow back. There you go. There you go. Boss of Rampage said, I always wanted to see Eddie versus Khabib. Yeah, that would be a great fight, too. And I would really love to see Khabib Nurmagomedov versus somebody that's not a striker or more of a striker. They're all MMA fighters. But just, looking at Khabib's most recent 3 opponents, and it's not, he was supposed to fight Tony Ferguson. That wasn't going. That would have been a different style matchup. But because of the injury, and then because of the injury to Max Holloway, he ended up fighting Al Iaquinta, another guy that's more of a striker. But of course, like I said, they're all MMA fighters. But if you think about his last 3 fights, right? Edson Barboza, Michael Johnson, and Al Iaquinta. He hasn't really faced the strongest wrestlers of the division, or even, somebody like a Tony Ferguson that's going to attack you off of his back. So that's why I want to see the Eddie Alvarez fight. Eddie Alvarez seemed really confident. He says, I'm a guy Khabib's not going to be able to just take down at will. So, I might be a tougher fight than you guys think. So I would like to see that fight too, brother. Y'all tell me you don't want to see Tony versus Poirier. Ooh, I already know that fight would be crazy, dog. Ooh. That would be insane. Dustin Poirier versus Tony Ferguson. Now, that's a realistic possibility, too. But that would be crazy. And low-key, man, I fuck with El Kukui, my dog. But if Dustin Poirier comes in here and wins this fight versus Eddie Alvarez and the streak he's been on, I might have him picked versus Ferguson low-key. Because we've seen Ferguson in trouble in his fights, and Dustin Poirier can definitely knock a motherfucker cold. So that would be a great fight, dog. It's a must now in the game. They all work on takedown defense. Yeah, they all, like I said, they're all MMA fighters. But just because you work on takedown defense doesn't mean you're going to be an ace at it. Doesn't mean you're going to be as good as somebody that's literally been wrestling since fucking middle school or high school, or the guys that were wrestling in college. That's why, yeah, everyone comes over to MMA, right? Israel Adesanya's got great takedown defense. But that doesn't mean he's got the best takedown defense in the division by any means. And that doesn't mean when he's on his back, he's going to be as skilled as someone that's fought off their back a lot more. Or, you know what I'm saying? So just because you're an MMA fighter doesn't mean your takedown defense is as good as everybody else. So I think Eddie Alvarez is going to be a lot harder to control, take down than some of those guys that Khabib has fought. The Michael Johnsons, who's more known, he's just more known as a striker. Michael Johnson's not known for taking guys down and, repeatedly or submitting guys. More of a striker. Edson Barboza, you think about his leg kicks and his striking. Al Iaquinta, you're not thinking, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a little bit of a different matchup. And on top of that, one of Khabib's toughest fights to date, Gleison Tibau, Eddie Alvarez kind of has a similar composure. You know what I'm saying? They don't look like twins, but they kind of have the same body type a little bit. Muscular, stocky dudes. And Khabib did have some trouble in that fight, although he got his hand raised, and I believe it was before USADA, so he might have been fighting somebody. It might have been an unlevel playing field for Khabib, but he got his hand raised. But still, Eddie Alvarez might be somebody that's like a natty Gleison Tibau, if you know what I'm saying. So I would love to see that fight for sure. I don't like Eddie. Tony would run through him. I would like to see Eddie versus Tony, though. I would like to see both of those fights. I would like to see Tony versus the winner of fucking Poirier Alvarez. Although I'm sure Tony Ferguson, just like these guys, Tony Ferguson probably wants his title back. These guys feel like they're fighting. If I win, I get the title shot. Tony Ferguson's probably feeling like when I come back, I get the title fight. There's a lot of motherfuckers in that lightweight division that want a title fight. Kevin Lee's damn near ready for a title fight. He did an interview with Luke Thomas, I believe, this Monday. I didn't really agree with a lot of the things Kevin Lee had to say in this interview. That might be another topic for another day, though. One of the things I have already talked about was the weight classes, but not even just that. He was talking about kind of, from what it sounded like Kevin Lee's kind of like, I don't want to say picking and choosing, but he's definitely aware of his matchups. He's like, the UFC might want me to fight this guy. I might want to fight this guy. We meet somewhere in the middle. So, he's just being maybe strategic with the fights that he takes. And honestly, that's the way to get to the top of the game, But, some people might resent that compared to a guy like a Donald Cowboy Cerrone that's just like, fuck it, I'll fight it. Or a Jeremy Stevens. I didn't even know you could turn down fights. If the UFC offers me the fight, I'm taking it. I don't care where, I don't care when, I don't care who. Kevin Lee's approaching it a little different, and so are a lot of guys, right? We see the UFC kind of doing that with Darren Till. Darren Till's like, I'll fight Usman, I'll fight this guy and that guy. And they're like, nah, we're not going to do the Usman thing. Actually, you're getting a title shot. After missing weight. But that's another topic for another day. Speaking of Edson Barboza, though, he's joining American Top Team and wants to fight again as fast as possible. I think he needs a little time off, which he's had since that Kevin Lee fight, but definitely maybe a little more. He's coming off of 2 egg-scrambling losses to Khabib and Kevin Lee. Both of those fights, he took a lot of damage. But it's good to see he's joining American Top Team. That's always a good deal because American Top Team has a fucking stable of studs over there. They got champions, non-champions. They got fucking great wrestlers. Like, American Top Team is one of the best fucking teams in UFC and MMA for sure. So anytime someone joins American Top Team, I don't think there's any way that can hurt your career. So that's a good thing for Edson Barboza for sure. He said, I moved on Monday, so it's been 3 days since I'm here. There are a lot of guys I know there, and I felt at home, no doubt. I spoke with the coaches, and I'm happy and excited. I'm still moving, worried about this part first, but I'll start training tomorrow. So, yeah, he's moving in with, American Top Team. That's dope to see. We'll see where he goes from here. What's next for this killer? We could look at let's look at the rankings real quick. That's a good question. UFC.com rankings. Let's see, lightweight. All right, so Edson Barboza. Oh, he could fight the loser of this fight. That's probably who Edson will fight. The loser of Alvarez Poirier. I could see him fighting that because he already fought Lee, McGregor, Ferguson, and Khabib. I don't see any of those being the fight. So if he's trying to fight up, likely the loser of that fight. But he might actually fight down. I don't think anybody would be upset if fucking Edson Barboza fought like James Vick or Ally Quintin, or someone lower in the rankings, because he's been fighting the fucking champ, and he's been fighting some killers. So maybe he just fights a top 15 guy. But if he's trying to fight up, I would say the only available guy, maybe the loser of Alvarez Poirier. But he could also just fight one of these guys down here, under him. Gaethje, Pettis, Diaz, not Diaz. Diaz is still in the rankings? I just thought about that. That's a little crazy. I think his last fight was like literally 2 years ago. Let's see. It's interesting. I mean, it is what it is, but August of 2016. So we're coming up on 2 years. Yeah, so right now it's the 26th of July. Next month is August. So it's about to literally be 2 years since he's fought, and he's still in the rankings. I'm sure there's some lightweights pissed off. And that's just part of the log jam as well. We already got the top log jam, but you also got motherfuckers ranked down as far as number 9 that ain't fighting. But he's a bigger name, especially with Conor McGregor and stuff. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, moving on to the next topic. But yeah, for Edson Barboza, the loser of that fight or fucking one of those. But, yo, check this out. This is really interesting. What do y'all think about Tecia Torres training with Rose Namajunas for her Joanna fight? Honestly, this could be bad news bears for Joanna Jędrzejczyk. You know what I'm saying? It's like Valentina Shevchenko, who is like Joanna's kryptonite. She transferred her powers into Rose, who fucking whooped Joanna's ass twice. And now Rose is going to try and transfer those powers into Tecia Torres. Like, man. But you know what I'm saying? Not powers, but those skills. Like, hey, this is what I did to beat her. Just do this. Hey, this is what she did to beat her. Just do this. So training with somebody that has your opponent figured out, that's a good thing for sure, right? We kind of saw that with Cody Garbrandt versus Dominic Cruz. He had so many guys that he was training with that had fought Dominic Cruz that helped him in the fight. So Tecia Torres now training with Rose Namajunas, but that's not the only thing that's weird about this here, right? If Tecia Torres wins this fight, she could potentially be fighting Rose Namajunas. Now, of course, Jessica Andrade would have something to say about that, but Tecia Torres is fighting to be a #1 contender. So let's say Tecia Torres wins the fight. So right now she's training with Rose, but this can go from like training partner to opponent. It might just be a situation. Yeah, I'm bringing Rose in for my camp for Joanna, but hey, if I win this fight, me and Rose are gonna have to throw him down. So that might be an interesting scenario because now they've trained together. So if Tecia wins here and she has to fight Rose, now they're former training partners. She brought her in. So that's another interesting thing at play here. But I don't know if training with Rose Namajunas is going to be enough for Tecia Torres to beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I picked Joanna Jędrzejczyk to win this fight. But at the same time, this does make it that much better in my mind. Stamina MC said Tecia trained more with Pat Barry and company, less so with Rose directly. Okay, that's interesting. Shoot, she needs to be training with Valentina, though. For real, if you really want to beat Joanna, don't skip the middleman. You know what I'm saying? And now you got 2 middlemen. If you're training with Rose, that's the middleman. If you're training with Pat Barry, that's like the middleman, because it's like he knows what happened, but at the same time, it's different coming from the person that actually beat Joanna. Like, no, so I'm telling you, do this. So if she just went straight to the source, straight to the plug of how to beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Valentina Shevchenko, I'd feel probably even a little better. McGregor's back. Khabib will fall, says Pat. Quincy Pinola says Wonderboy versus Colby. That'd be a fun fight. You know, super good guy versus super bad guy. That's a cool dynamic. I wonder how the fight would play out too. You know, wrestler versus karate. That'd be fun. Yoza L says Barry gives those girls good stand up and feint. She doesn't get hurt. Her fight is in her favor always. Web's PK Vid said, gotta grab that real antidote. Yeah, you gotta get that real antidote from Valentina. Kenshiro says, unless Torres' arms grew an extra 12 inches, she ain't beating JJ. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a tough fight, but she's got a lot to fight for here. Because right now, Tecia Torres is 1-1 with Rose Namajunas, so she could potentially be looking at like a title fight trilogy thing if she can get a win. But of course, like I said earlier, Jessica Andrade might have something to say about that. But yeah, so moving on. Nick Diaz versus Gaethje would be an awesome fight, says April loves MMA. That would be a really fun fight, but Nick Diaz fights at welterweight and I believe middleweight he's fought before. He's never fought at 155, so for that fight to happen, Gaethje would have to go up to welterweight. But we could see Gaethje versus Nate Diaz. That's, you know, the little brother who fights at 155. That could for sure happen. But yeah, good call. Gary Kendrick Jr. said, what's up, Ivan? You in the building. We got Ivan Hernandez in the building. What up, brother? Forward says, I hope JJ gets a finish. She's long overdue. Yeah. That would be dope. But what would you know, Forward, what do you think she does with the win? Do you think that she should move up to 125 or should she wait? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if she beats Tecia Torres, maybe what does she do? Maybe fight the loser of Jessica Carolina. This is the thing about Joanna. She's kind of cleared out the division. So whenever she's not Joanna champion, and now that she's Joanna contender, there's not really a lot of fights for her at strawweight because she's beat a lot of these girls. You know? She's beat a lot of them twice. So I would really still like to see her at 125, especially with her bad weight cuts, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But with a win over Tecia Torres, maybe she still moves up. Maybe she stays. I'm not 100% sure. Yoza L says bet 1,000 on JJ. Ooh, I wonder how big of a favorite she is. It depends on if she was like a 2-1 favorite, I would do that, or I don't know. I don't know if she's like a fucking 4-1 favorite or something. I don't know if I would get that crazy. Infamous says Khabib couldn't finish Al Iaquinta on late notice. Like I said, it's not Al Iaquinta off the couch. He literally had a full fight camp. He was supposed to be fighting on that same card. That was a short notice fight for both of them. Khabib had multiple opponent switches. He was supposed to be fighting Ferguson. Then he was supposed to be fighting Holloway. Then one day fucking before the fight, he's fighting Al Iaquinta now. So that was short notice for Khabib too. And then Iaquinta, you know, if you're talking about training camp short notice, then it wasn't short notice for Iaquinta because Iaquinta had a full camp. He was supposed to be fighting Paul Felder, I believe. You know, and Paul he lost his opponent. But Iaquinta had a full camp too, so it's not like he didn't. And then on top of that, yeah, Khabib wasn't just fucking trying to ragdoll him and submit him. He was standing up with him. He was maybe potentially trying to entice Conor McGregor's ass. Hey, look what I can do. And Conor McGregor thinking, got that chin up. I see you, motherfucker. I'm gonna snipe that thing. You know, maybe there was a little gamesmanship at play there. Who knows what went on? But I'm not holding it against Khabib for not finishing Iaquinta. When's the last time Iaquinta was finished? You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's just a motherfucker walking around here. It's not like Al Iaquinta's known for being chinny, like he was just supposed to get finished in that fight. You know, and so yeah, man, it is what it is though. Forward thinking says JJ is hell-bent on getting the belt before moving up. She'll need to lose again before she contemplates moving up to meet her maker, the Bullet. Yo, you know, that would add to the fight, right? If she was the champion, I kind of like that. I mean, I don't know if she'll be able to get the belt back with Rose being the champion, but I do like the idea of, like, you know, if Joanna can get the belt back and then Valentina can get the belt, that would be a good-ass champ versus champ fight, but Joanna would have to get the belt back, and if that's the case, who knows what's going to happen, you know, if she has to beat Rose for it. So, but what if, holy shit, what if Andrade beat Rose and then Joanna had to rematch Andrade and she's already beat her before, so she could get the title back? It's just kind of a styles make fights thing. I don't think Joanna can beat Rose, but she can pretty much beat everybody else. So there's a little bit of a path for her back to the title, but it would have to involve probably Rose losing the belt, which could happen in her next fight. I'm not guaranteeing it. Of course, you can't count Rose Namajunas out at all after what she did to Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But I'm just saying Jessica Andrade has been looking like she's on a whole nother level lately. And I would call Jessica Andrade, you know, some people feel like she's a weight bully, and I see where that comes from. You know, she did used to fight at 135, but to my knowledge, has Jessica Andrade missed weight multiple times? You know what I'm saying? To me, I feel like a weight bully is somebody that is like fucking, they can't make the weight, but they keep doing it right, so they miss weight by like 4 pounds or 7 pounds, but it's like, oh, well, I don't want to go up a weight class, you know, but that 125 division wasn't really there for Andrade before, so I still kind of, I'm giving Jessica Andrade the benefit of the doubt. I would like to see her at 125, but she's been looking great at 115. So if she can make the weight, I would like to see her, you know, fight for that gold one time. Forward said, I'm sorry, but Shevchenko completely daddied her in those Muay Thai fights. Threw her to the ground 15 plus times. Every time they clinched, shit was damn near embarrassing. And that could be the exact same story in MMA. It might even be worse. What if fucking Valentina Shevchenko turned Joanna into Priscilla Cachoeira? You know what I'm saying? She'd likely have the size advantage, and she was already throwing her around in Muay Thai, but now I can keep you down. Yeek. Now and later in the building said Jessica is tiny at 115. Forget about 135. No, I'm talking about Jessica Andrade. You're saying Jessica Andrade is tiny at 115? Mini cyborg? Maybe, but she used to fight at 135. But I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? If you used to fight at 135, now you're at 115, we've got a middle ground, you know what I'm saying? Now you can fight at your real weight class. But if she has no problem making 115, I'm all the way down for her staying there. All right, but we got a couple more things to talk about before we get out of here, man. We've been rolling for about an hour now, which is good because I haven't passed out and hit my head on the fucking screen yet. Jeremy Stevens said Brian Ortega's best chance to beat him was at UFC 226. Got a good point, you know what I'm saying? Because he said that his coach wouldn't have been able to go to the fight. This is actually his exact words. He said, you know, as far as the fan reaction, you know, not a lot of the fans felt like Brian Ortega was ducking Jeremy Stevens because the way the whole thing played out. He didn't want to take that fight on short notice. And he said, Jeremy Stevens says that's something he has to deal with. You know, the fans' reaction. He continued to say that was his best opportunity to beat me. Haven't had to dehydrate myself. I had no coach. My coach had a bad sinus infection. He was in the hospital. It was a crazy moment. Maybe it just wasn't supposed to happen that way. So that's one of those situations where, man, Jeremy Stevens is a very fucking dangerous guy. But you had the opportunity to either, you know, fight him, and Brian Ortega might not have known those details, right? He probably didn't know Jeremy Stevens' coach was, but that didn't play into it. You know, Brian Ortega was making a business decision, not a Jeremy Stevens decision. So I don't think Brian Ortega was thinking, oh, is this my best chance to beat Jeremy Stevens? I might want to fight him now. It's now or never. Short notice, Jeremy Stevens. That wasn't what he was saying. Brian Ortega said, I'll fight anybody. I'm trying to fight for the title, dog. I don't care if it's Stevens, Edgar, or motherfucking Francis Ngannou. I'm just trying to fight for the title. That's where I'm at. But a lot of people felt like Brian Ortega was ducking. And so, interesting moment. Jeremy Stevens takes on Jose Aldo this weekend at UFC Calgary. Going to be a great fight. That's the co-main event of the Conor McGregor Calgary. We should call this UFC Conor or UFC Conor-gary. You know. But yeah, that's one thing I thought about whenever I was making my predictions about how many fighters on this card were in the shadow of Conor McGregor a little bit. And I forgot to mention Dustin Poirier also had lost to Conor McGregor. But you got, who the fuck is that guy? Jeremy Stevens, he had that with Conor. You got Aldo, former champion, Conor beat. You got Eddie Alvarez on this card, former champion, Conor beat. You got Poirier on this card. Conor beat him when he wasn't a champion. But literally all 4 fighters in the main event and co-main event have a history with Conor McGregor. I wonder if that's going to make this card like sell a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? Like in the lead up to this fight, you just, instead of showing their highlights, like you put in one low light, like each of them getting knocked out by Conor McGregor, or Conor McGregor turning around at the press conference. Who the fuck is that guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if they sold this card with like memes or you know, or low lights for once? But still, it's a lot of Conor McGregor footage. That's all I'm saying. It's just strategy. No. But with that being said, let's move to the next topic. I see what Jeremy Stevens had to say. You know, my coach was out, short notice. It's now or never, motherfucker, because next time you see me, I'm going to have full camp. My coach is going to be on deck, and I'm coming for your neck. So I fuck with Jeremy Stevens. I'm actually rooting for him to get this win over Jose Aldo. But I have a bad feeling that too many people are counting Jose Aldo out. And usually when that's the case, that's when a motherfucker comes out and wins. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all counted Derek Lewis out. Ha ha. Now, I've seen one or two people picking Aldo to win this fight, but I think Jeremy Stephens has the momentum. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think wins out of Aldo and Stephens? Let me know. That weird guy says, what's good, MMA from the Heartland? What is my brother in here? I didn't even see my guy pop through. What is up? MMA from the Heartland in the motherfucking building. Let's go. Jeremy Stephens, Yank My Danny Doodle said full time. Now the fund sits at 474. My promise fulfilled. Holy shit. Thank you very much, good sir. Honestly, I didn't know what was going to happen because there was a, I'll just tell you real quick because we're live streaming. It ain't no thing. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? So, someone donated $100, but for some reason it got blocked. And he hit me up like, hey, man, you know, the money didn't come back yet, but it didn't go through. I don't know what's going on. But I think it's just getting sent back to him. I don't know if it was a credit card issue because the other donations have went through. So the fund was sitting at $74. And I was like, oh, well, you know, if that gets doubled, that's still 100 and something. So I appreciate it, man, very much, Yank My Dandy Doodle. That's super dope, man. Like, I don't even, you know, I'm almost at a loss for words, man. Thank you very much. This channel, all I can do is continue to grind, putting out that content, you know what I'm saying, working for it, and I'm going to keep doing that for sure every motherfucking day. When we go to the new studio, whenever we are at a motherfucking UFC event in the future, it's literally, I would be not shit if it wasn't for the family. That's all this is, man. So I appreciate it. Motherfucking the people that watch this, the people that have donated, the people that hit the like button, man. It's fucking beyond surreal to me. So I appreciate that so fucking much. And especially, you know what I'm saying, when I got a lot of shit going on, that shit comes through, man. Fucking thank you very much, good sir. MMA from the Heartland. And now with that being said, now and later, now you gotta match that. I'm just fucking around, but yo, thank you, good sir. Grin Swing Sports said, if Aldo, the greatest featherweight ever, can't get a rematch, then Stipe is asked out. Well, the thing about that was it was Conor McGregor. But, no, that is a good point. That is a good point. But it was Conor McGregor, right? DC's not Conor. You know, Conor McGregor was the one that was trying to make history in his next fight. Go up to challenge for another belt. A little different here because DC already did that. And so it's not like DC's going up for another belt. He could kind of just rematch Stipe, but he's still going for a money fight, but it's just like a little bit of a shit show money fight. Conor McGregor was going to set records. He was trying to make shit happen. Conor McGregor wasn't just going for a payday when he was going to fight Eddie Alvarez. He had his mind set on being the champ before the Aldo fight. He wasn't thinking about an Aldo rematch before the fight, and none of that shit. And also, there wasn't no eye pokes going into it. You know, I look at these as different scenarios, but I still do like the point you bring up. Because, yeah, Aldo he did reign for a long time. So that is a similarity, but I still think there's a little bit of differences here. Conor McGregor was trying to do, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to fucking get it. He was trying to become the lightweight champion. Yo, we got the super chat from my guy, Kenshiro Ryu, said, won 200 last night playing online poker. Keep the hustle going. Don't be a degenerate gambler like me full time. I'm not, man. I am staying away from the gambling. I mean, the fake money bankroll, that's one thing, but I'm not doing no motherfucking, you know, real life gambling as of right now because, for one, I don't live in Las Vegas, and for two, I don't got, you know, no Poker Stars app where I might be up there with you at the tables. No, I'm just fucking around. I ain't played poker in a while, but lately I've been watching a lot of fucking poker videos, a lot of Phil Hellmuth and Tony G, you know, Phil Ivey, just some of the most clutch plays and just fun moments in poker history. I've been watching a lot of poker videos for some reason as of late. Fuck around, I might start throwing a home game every Friday, you know, a little $10 home game. But thank you very much for the $5 super chat, Kenshiro Ryu. Much appreciated. And congratulations on your win, too. I know that always feels good when you win some money in poker. So, appreciate it, good sir. Darren 2 has a message for the toxic fans who are criticizing his title shot. Okay, I'm interested in what he has to say. This is interesting, dog. Because Darren 2 kind of said he didn't deserve it. But, I like the word toxic, though. That's why I'm kind of laughing. Because you kind of win when you call somebody toxic. Like, come on, quit being toxic. It's like, you're kind of right, you know. Quit being an asshole, you know. You're being a Debbie Downer when you talk about Darren Till not deserving the title fight. Instead of just talking about how good this fight has the potential to be, if you spend your time focusing on, yeah, but he missed weight. Yeah, but he eats his boogers. Yeah, but he fucking said he doesn't deserve the title shot himself. If you want to focus on that, you know, that's kind of being toxic. You're just spreading the wrong energy out there. Instead of being like, yo, Darren Till is a motherfucking monster. Woodley's about to be fighting. We just got a dope-ass fucking welterweight title fight. We didn't expect at UFC 228. Let's motherfucking go. Everybody's kind of focusing on the negative. So I like that. I like that. Because it kind of puts you in your place. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're being toxic. Fix your PayPal. My donation didn't go through yesterday, said now and later. What the fuck? I don't know what's wrong with my PayPal. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'll try and fix it right after the chat, but I don't know what the fuck. Did they report it overnight? I don't even know what happened, but thank you very much for the $2 in the super chat. I'll get on that right after the show's over. But yeah, I didn't know there was something wrong with my PayPal, bro. I don't know what the... But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to complain about it because if I get the 2 through the super chat and the motherfucking whatever, when it comes, it comes, and if it don't, it won't. You know, I'm not going to... But yeah, I'll try and get that fixed, and I appreciate that you tried and the $2, so... I'll definitely try and get that fixed. But yeah, until you said that, I had no clue, brother. Grand Swing Sport said Till is privileged. I mean, yeah, but he's got a lot of potential. He's bilingual, motherfucking Brazilian, from the UK, speaks English, speaks Portuguese, got motherfucking blue eyes. He's undefeated. He's a fucking big-ass dude. Like, he's got so much potential, bro. Like, I don't think people even understand, but it's going to be hard for him to... Now, he could get derailed here. This is dangerous for Darren Till, man. This is a dangerous fight for Darren Till. Fighting Woodley, arguably when he's at the top of his prime, maybe he's on the way out, but still. If Woodley would have fought Covington and then Till, he would have even had a better chance. The more time goes by, the better Till gets, the better he gets at cutting weight and fighting. But, so, it's such a dangerous time for Darren Till. He could potentially get dethroned here. But if he wins, holy smokes, do we have a superstar on our hands. Darren Till, like, just so much potential, man. But this is what he had to say. What do you want me to do? Just say no? Go Dana White, it's fine. I don't want that title shot. Give it to someone else. They deserve it. If Dana's offering the title shot, I'm not going to say no. MMA fans are so amazing. But also they can be toxic at the same time. Not just MMA fans, the fighters and the people in general. Everyone keeps going on with the weight. I've never seen someone get so much shit for not making weight one time. What about Mackenzie Dern? No, but it's like I've never made weight. I can't wait to come... I see what you did there. I can't wait to come back and make weight. There's too many weights there. I can't wait to come back and make weight to be the new UFC welterweight world champion. And so, I like that. But... one thing is, Darren Till, that's not the first time he ever missed weight, to be fair. And also, if you want to talk about somebody getting shit for missing weight, we can point at motherfucking Mackenzie Dern. Holy smokes, she's still getting called Miss Piggy Dern. Angela Magana was just calling her fat and hungover yesterday. I don't think Mackenzie Dern has went one day since her fight without getting called some sort of fat, overweight type shit. Weight bully, fat fuck, whatever people are calling her. Mackenzie Dern is getting some shit for missing weight. So that's another person who's recently got some stuff. But yeah, no, I actually do like what Darren Till had to say here. I think he put me in my place a little bit. I was a little confused at first. I was a little confused, like, what's really going on here? Colby just won. He's getting stripped. Till just missed weight. He said he didn't deserve it. What's going on? But I gotta slap the fucking toxic out of myself. Like, fuck it. Let's focus on the good. I need to do that more often. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think everybody does. You know, I think a lot of people can get caught up in being toxic sometimes. And sometimes you gotta fucking get called out on it and think, oh shit, I am being toxic. Because he's got a good ass point. That is pretty toxic. So I fucking like what Darren Till had to say there. And he had another great point when he said, what am I supposed to do? Say no, I don't deserve it? Hey, Darren Till, you want this title shot? Colby's out. Nah, Dana. I think you should give it to Kamaru. What? Or Wonder Boy? Dude, that would be one of the dumbest things. I guarantee you there would be people talking shit. Like if Dana White came out and said, yeah, we tried to offer Darren Till the title fight. He said he didn't deserve it. You know how he would probably get clowned way worse for that. Darren Till is not at fault for accepting the fight. I think more people are probably looking at him as to his previous issues with the weight and stuff. But still, I definitely like what he had to say there. So, that being said, Dern is bad though, says Jose L. Faux show. Ivan Hernandez said Woodley via KO. Real possibility. Rugby Queen in the building. She said the legal system is a fucking joke. If anyone else on the UFC roster did what Conor did, they wouldn't be let off the hook this easy. Must be nice. I know, right? Unless it was like fucking Brock Lesnar or somebody else. Or maybe Darren Till, he might get off. You know, Cowboy Cerrone, not in the octagon, you know, not other fighters, but, you know, I believe Dana White's talked about helping Cowboy Cerrone out with some legal issues. But, yeah, I mean, but your first point really hit it on the head, Rugby Queen, when you said the legal system is a fucking joke, right? Because a lot of the times, it's not just Conor McGregor, right? People with a lot of money can get off. You know what I'm saying? It's not even just Conor. But Conor, you could imagine, has a great legal team behind him. And if he don't, I'm sure the UFC is probably letting him borrow their lawyers because they need this fight to happen. And if they don't need it, you know they want it. The UFC wants Conor versus Khabib, the biggest fight in UFC history. So I'm sure the UFC wants Conor McGregor cleared of these charges too. So they're probably fucking helping pay for his legal funds to get him the best lawyers to get off of these charges. But I think that's more of a money thing. If you got millions in the bank, you might be able to throw a couple dollies through a couple windows and get a slap on the wrist. Well, you know, we wouldn't know because we ain't got the millions yet. Grand Swing Sports said Till needs building. I can't wait for the fight, low-key. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Yo's a L in the building. Conor got the luck of the Irish, says Seismic Shock. Hey, that's a good one too. That's a good one too. See, we were getting off toxic. Maybe he's just lucky. The luck of the Irish, you know what I'm saying? Yoza, you like that big nose and far apart eyes? I don't think he's looking at her nose or her eyes, dog. That's not what I'd be looking at. Forward says, Gary Kindred Jr., we see you out here. Respect, bro. A donation to my brother is a donation to me. Oh, shit. Gary Kindred Jr. in the building. I didn't even see what he had to say. But, yo, if you donated, man, I motherfucking appreciate it. I don't give a damn if you donated $1, dog. I appreciate it. And especially from Gary Kindred Jr., dog. I know you be on the grind. And I believe you also said you got a family on top of that. So, motherfucking much appreciated, my brother. And I literally mean my brother because y'all are my motherfucking family. But with that being said, it's the, yeah, like he said, I'm broke. I have $2, but I listen to you guys every day. I can't do nothing but support. Well, you support by listening every day. You support by hitting thumbs up. And you support by being a part of the motherfucking full-time family. But I definitely still appreciate that because, and I tell you one thing, you know, right now I'm broke as fuck, but I swear to God, I got great intentions. Like, if I had the money to do giveaways, instead of doing a Q&A every 1,000 subs, I would literally give shit away. Whether it's clothes, whatever the fucking full-time, whatever. If I had it to give, I would be doing giveaways. Not just to give back, but also, you know, because giveaways are, I think, a good way to, you know, keep people involved. Like, some of you might remember this, and some of you might not, because it was so long ago. But whenever I was still fucking MMA Fast Topics 2, at 500 subscribers, I tried to do a giveaway. Just because I was like, holy shit, I got 500 subs. I was doing like a giveaway of some shit I couldn't even afford, like a $30 hoodie or something. And luckily, the guy that won didn't claim it. You know, I sent him an email, a Twitter, and everything, and he never claimed it, so I didn't have to shell it out. But I would love to be able to do that. It's just, you know, there's so much shit going on, so I can't right now. But I'm telling you, man, in the future, when I can afford to, I'm going to be giving back as much as I've got given, you know what I'm saying? So that's super dope. Oh, and by the way, we just got motherfucking approved for the Iron Affiliate Program full-time family. Be looking forward to your motherfucking Alpha Brain free sample. I'm telling y'all, dog, the way this is working out for what I'm saying is, for one, don't be no fucking beta baby back bagel biting bitch boy. And I had to put beta in the front because if you're beta, you got a beta brain. Or, what is it called? Yeah, you got a beta brain. And we need that alpha brain. We can't fuck with them beta brain motherfuckers over here. We all got the alpha brain. So with that being said, pretty soon we're going to have a link in the description where you can get a free trial of alpha brain and really get on your shit. And with that being said, low key, just between me and you, every person that signs up for a free sample from some of the stuff that the affiliate programs from on it, I think I get $10. And you ain't got to pay shit. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? All you got to do is go and hit a boom, 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 and sign your name, 10 to me, Alpha Brain to you. And you ain't got to be a beta brain baby back bagel biting bitch boy no more. So that's super dope. I just remembered that. That hopefully will be super dope. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. Forward says, this isn't a donation. This is an investment into the best goddamn channel on the web, full-time MMA. You guys make me feel wanted. I'm just kidding. No, but really, I got to get out of here for today, man. I'm probably about to fucking crash out. But I'll be back tomorrow, and I don't have work tomorrow, so I'll be grinding as well tomorrow because my girl works a double tomorrow, so I can't pick up a shift. But, hey, that means I get to work here even more. And then there's no Bellator tomorrow, so we'll be going live. So I appreciate everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Motherfucking, with that being said, it is what it is. Yoza El says, smoke one now, nigga. Hashtag sober 2018. Fuck with your boy. That's what I was talking about the other day when I said I'm saving a bunch of money, man. Took a long time. I'm telling you, I got motherfucking issues and shit. And too much shit to deal with. Sometimes I be having to do that. You know, I'm like, man, fuck it. I got to fire up. And then I'm like, God damn, that's working against the grain. I hate doing that. You know, I got to be sober out here. Not even because, you know, I wish I could smoke because there's so much stupid shit that goes on in this fucking world and outside the channel and shit that I've been going through. It would help, but that's not how you get ahead. You gotta sacrifice to get where you want, and that's why I've been so positive about things for a while now, because that's been working. I haven't smoked in a while now. Hashtag sober 2018, fucking 7 months in, but we did it. We did it. So that's a good thing. So peace out, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. We out.